Imagine if you one day sitting down with a new friend or just as well with a stranger and start compare last 3 years of your life and look at your timeline together. Kylie and I had done this exercise and the result was really interesting, and what am I about to share with you right now. Kylie and I are still hanging together out here at anchor. In between no movement weekends there is still a chance to get things done before curfew in the evening.
What do you got there, Thomas?
Your anchor.
My old one. Look at how corroded it is.
Yeah.
There it is, the old beast. Almost never used. And here's the new one.
Kylie had 2 anchors at her bow, and this is the new spear we're gonna replace the old one with. We are using a rope that's taken all the way back to the winch, so she can lift it up in position once I secure it to the anchor.
Fingers crossed it fits. Seems to be mostly the same size.
It's for a reason we still hang around here. Apart from the obvious fact it's still hurricane season, which we monitor every day. Kylie still have a few things that needs to be sorted out before we can leave this island. Otherwise we would left long time ago, as COVID makes life more complicated out here for every day. While Kylie is busy with her things, I can focus on my own small projects. I have borrowed a sewing machine from my Swedish friends. I'm going to fix a few things while I'm waiting.
To get the zipper on the exact correct place, I use 2-sided tape and just tape it before stitching it.
All the funny things you do as a sailor. Before sewing, I need to prepare more white thread for the backside. My bimini is now done, but I also need to replace one of the zippers on my spray hood. It's a quick fix, and I'm actually reusing an old zipper I had from another project. I also have tried to fix my dinghy, as it has been a bit leaky lately. I will see how it works, but should seriously have a new one at least before heading out the Pacific.
Wow, it's like robust and inflated still. Woohoo! The new inflated version. I like it. This watermaker looks really nice. I'm so excited.
Yeah?
Yeah, thank you for helping. And here's Terry. Woohoo! The electrician that is like incredibly above and beyond the Call of Duty on this one. Thank you. And look at this gorgeous watermaker. It even looks like it's gonna work.
In case you don't know what a watermaker is, this machine purifies salt water, removing the salt and produce drinking water to your boat.
Check it out.
Yeah, next thing I say, don't jinx it.
Yeah.
We should not drop this in the ocean, right?
No, it's too beautiful. All right, I better help here.
Is it heavy or?
I'm sure it
Where
is.
do you lift it? In the frame?
Underneath it. Thank you, Thomas. Seriously, this is so freaking cool. This is how we do it in the Caribbean when we're installing water makers. Man, so funny.
Are you a good swimmer?
Once the equipment don't go, I can swim.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Because we have no life jackets on this dinghy.
Whoa.
Me personally, I'm not afraid.
Yeah, Terry's like hovered on the side there. Thomas is in prime position and I'm also sitting on the side. In fact,
There is no more room in the dinghy.
yeah, Terry's half overboard.
Yeah, don't use anything into the water.
Don't tell me, I do the phone. Last year, 6 phones.
I have like, what do you say? I have a monopoly in dropping phones and drones and shit into the water. So far, since I left Europe, 3 iPhones and 2 drones into the ocean.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you the money.
We will not be doing that today.
My first iPhone, the first iPhone I dropped into the ocean was a waterproof one. It doesn't help much because it was like 3,000 meters depth. So
Oh no. Yeah, there's no recovering that.
I don't think it lasted. more than 10 meters or so.
Yeah, exactly. Waterproof to a certain depth, right?
Just a short dinghy ride away from our anchorage, there is this beautiful place called La Fer Bleue. It's kind of a resort marina with swimming pool, restaurant and bar, but only takeaway for now. However, our guilty pleasure store is still open.
Hey, good morning.
What are we doing?
Scoffing down chocolate croissants. So
Cheers.
so good. Coffee. Croissants, good company, beach. Life is good.
Just enjoying the last few hours of freedom. Before this fucking 100% no movement lockdown shit again.
But we will have extra croissants.
Yeah. Are you filming?
Yes,
Why?
because how many croissants have you eaten?
Actually only one.
And what else?
Oh, okay. So that was a cinnamon roll.
Yeah, and I've also had a chocolate one and a plain one, but these are too good, so cheers. Just
Yeah.
one more.
It's like croissant bun.
Yeah,
Interesting shape, but it's good. That's the important stuff.
so good.
And technically we are not sitting on the beach, as it's actually not legal at this moment because of these new measurements. In the previous episode I said I hope to see Ryman again, that I met here last year. I'm so happy to see him again, and I want to take him for a sail when this curfew is over.
Once again,
Yes, it is.
and we having a beer right now. I got my fish. I want to cook some of that.
What kind of fish is it?
That's a Marian, but it's like a red snapper.
Red snapper.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah, the only thing about it is that because the head have plenty bone, so we normally just cut off the head
Oh,
and
yeah.
just use the whole body of the fish.
Okay.
You understand?
Oh, that's your friend that had fished this one. Another friend.
Another friend.
Brother from another mother, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's lots of movies made about parallel universe, alternative reality and tiny details changing at some point of your timeline that would change the outcome of your history. Or like the movie Sliding Doors, if you focus on the two timelines, how it can affect all the rest. Imagine if you one day sitting down with a new friend or just as well with a stranger and start compare last 3 years of your life and look at your timeline together. Kylie and I had done this exercise and the result was really interesting, and what am I about to share with you right now. It's not the first time Kylie and I have been at the same anchorage during the last 3-4 years, even though we only know each other for 2 months.
Morning. Hello. Yeah, mango.
Yep, mango, yogurt and coffee.
Coffee.
Good morning.
I have coffee also.
Okay, and croissants.
Croissants are in the oven.
Woohoo! Alright, I'm ready.
We have had quite a lot of time to talk about our journeys, and the more we talk and share stories, the more interesting this gets, at least to us. We found out we have the same sunset photo from the very same place and day outside of Palma in Europe.
There you go.
Thanks.
This is my margarita from yesterday, so
Okay.
here's what I prepared earlier.
You know that the alcohol disappears from like after a day, right?
Right.
So we started to look at photos, timestamps and our log. The deeper we dig into this, the more surprised we became, as we are sharing here with you now. We realized that we have been chasing the same sunsets at more places than we knew before we finally met. We both have been sailing for a while, but in this episode I'm only focusing on when we first start to cross paths in the past until present time. Surprisingly, we have to go all the way back to 2018. Early spring 2018, Kylie was making her way through the Med after crossing the Atlantic. At the same time, I was exploring Croatia, and when she passing south of Greece, I was making my way south towards Corfu. In July 2018, we both were in Greece. When I was sailing around the Ionian Sea, Kylie was cruising the Aegean Sea and headed for Athens. For a short period of time, the distance between us gets bigger. She leaves Athens and takes the fast track between the islands I sailed 2 years earlier, but Kylie goes further east to Turkish waters. Meanwhile, I'm sailing into Messalongi for some upgrades and also flying back home to Norway. Early September, Kylie returns towards Greece again, and I'm back on board Be Free while she crossed the Corinth Canal towards the west side of Greece where I am. Now she is just a few miles away, and I would see in her IS if I knew what to look for. In fact, this was our closest encounter for now, and she managed to sneak away just before the famous hurricane. The hurricane we had this autumn, which is a rare phenomenon here. I chose to wait it out and left a few days later. When I sailed towards Italy, Kylie was already in Sicily, and now I'm passing her pretty close before crossing the Strait of Messina. The 3rd of October, I make a few stops on Vulcano and other islands, before I'm actually also staying in a marina in Sicily. For the first time, we are now staying at the same island, but still far away from each other. While Kylie continues to enjoy Sicily, I set off to Sardinia, before sailing southwest to the Balearic Islands Menorca and Mallorca. I'm staying for a while in Mallorca, exploring both Palma and Magaluf. Now Kylie makes short stops at the same islands I stayed at for 2 weeks earlier, before she sails straight to Mallorca, where I am. And for the first time, we actually are at the same anchorage, where we even took the same photo of the same sunset. However, this doesn't last for long, so there will be no sundowner on my swim platform this time either. I'm leaving the next evening before sunset, heading towards Ibiza and Cartagena. I have scheduled a haul out and a quite lot of work preparing for the Atlantic crossing. When I'm in Cartagena, Kylie overtakes me as she is sailing straight to Gibraltar. And the funny thing we found out is we happen to have quite similar rhythm. For the next few steps we always move at the same days, making her staying ahead of me all the way to the Canaries. And even without knowing, we set sail again the same day. Out the Big Blue on our Atlantic crossing. Wonderful moves well in lighter winds, so we would see each other for a while if we only knew. She's heading towards Antigua and I towards Martinique, and Be Free arrived the Caribbean a few days earlier. While Kylie this time is the one to fly back home, Wonderful stays put, while Be Free is cruising around the Caribbean. And once again we are at the exact same place at the same time, at least our boats, because she is still back home. This story could have ended in Antigua, and we would never know, because I'm heading west on my way to Panama. Even though Kylie starts tracking same direction, I'm already off to my next destination. I'm skipping lots of details here, as it's not needed for explaining this incredible journey. However, some of the places we could met was British Virgin Island, as I stayed there for quite a while. It's getting late in the season for being so far north. I'm moving fast to Panama via Dominican Republic and Jamaica, when Kylie is sailing south towards Grenada. Kylie leaves Wonderful on the hard air June 11th, 2019, when I sailed via Colombia to Panama and prepared for the Pacific. When COVID reached Panama and the canal closed, I sailed non-stop back to Martinique and was even considering Europe. Instead, I've been cruising between Martinique and Grenada until today. Wonderful went back into the water the 21st of May 2021. I sailed down to Carriacou from St. Vincent and had my quarantine time in Tyrrell Bay, Carriacou. When I was cleared into Grenada's islands, Kylie arrived Tyrrell Bay with Wonderful. And of course this should not come as a surprise, I left Tyrrell Bay the day after Kylie arrived. However, this time we actually stayed put, only a few meters apart, and 24 hours later I invited her to Be Free for sundowners. It could have been in Mallorca in Europe, but instead I had the pleasure of meeting Kylie here, almost 3 years later. And she came over for a sundowner outside of Sandy Island, Carriacou, which is the reason we today found out and wanted to share this incredible journey with you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and feel free to leave a comment below. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would love to see you hit the subscribe button. All the best, stay safe, stay healthy, cheers!